Hey everybody, welcome back to another video now featuring mouse cam. So when I miss a shot, you can see how I do it. I had an extra webcam laying around and I was like, you know what, might as well use it. So today we're going to be talking about opping on T-side Inferno. This is a very difficult task, just because Inferno is a very close quarters map. Like, this is probably your longest engagement, with this being the second longest engagement. Obviously you have alt mid, but you're not really going to be holding this too often. Yes, somebody could technically peek here, and they do, but it's not as consistent as somebody swinging car or somebody swinging boiler side mid. Okay, so opping T-side is difficult, like I said, because of the close quarters, and you're kind of left with two angles that are pretty standard to hold. So at the start of the round, it's pretty standard for the opper to hold right here. Getting up here is actually pretty, I think in my opinion, it's a little quicker than doing one of these maneuvers right at the start of the round, so you can potentially get the cross if they do jump across mid. I always hold it really tight up against boiler side, so if they cross, I have time to react. But you do have to be aware that they can slow peek from arch side, and there's a lot of arch that you can't see. It is common for an opper to maybe sit like this, okay, and you're not going to be able to see him there, so you don't want to call to your teammates, oh yeah, mid's clear, because you do not have the full information. And then after that, maybe you get a pick, maybe they smoke top mid or something. Alright, it's nice to hold car. You could also go for the car hold from the start of the round, especially if they're taking banana controls, and you start to catch on that, and you just tell your teammates, we'll take banana late, and you just wait here for maybe somebody on the CT side to get a little bit too greedy. That's basically opping on T-side Inferno, is just waiting for the CTs to get a bit too greedy. Now, there's two things that you can do from there, right, after holding this angle and this angle, okay? One, you can realize that opping post-plant Inferno is very, very powerful. Just think about if you're trying to retake B site as a CT and they have an opper posted from new box or maybe somewhere in church or something like that. Okay, that's going to be difficult. Even if they like also have an opper sitting top car, and you're trying to retake, now you can't go banana. So that's very powerful. Just as on A, having an opper in pit where he can easily cross from arch to porch and make sure that he's holding all of that. Maybe even having an opper up in balcony, he can hold this cross, he can peek down into lane, he can hold apps. It's very powerful post plant. So you have the option of playing it very passively, waiting for your teammates to get the entries, and then, you know, slowly going in, making sure you're posted while they're walking up mid, or maybe you're posted for the swing out car while they're walking up right side banana or something like that. Taking it nice and slow, waiting for them to get the contact, waiting for them to get the entries, and then you play the post plant. Okay, that's an option. And little note, you don't have to like fully commit to one of these options throughout the entire game. You can switch from round to round, different things that you want to do. You just have to make sure that your team is on the same page. So, as I was saying, option 2 is you realize that on Inferno, because there's not a whole lot of opping spots, most of the engagements are going to be with rifles, because most everybody's going to have rifles. And there's a lot of people on CT side who need to peek common angles to get information. For example, top mid. Okay, the arch player maybe needs to swing out just like this, just shoulder it, see if anybody's there, because there's no way of knowing if anybody's walking out mid. Mid is like this bracket area is very, very important to maintain control of as a CT, because the Ts do try to take control. Or like if you're holding boiler door here, maybe sometimes you need to swing top mid just to check it out. Or even if you're in apps, okay, you can be sitting here or like up on balcony like this, and sometimes, you know, you might want to go for this peek. Same thing goes for on B. Okay, you can sit CT like this, and you can have some guy on site, maybe like back pillar or something like that in between these two things. Who even knows? But at some point, the CT player, you know, might go for a little jiggle right there, just trying to get some information. Or if they're both playing sandbag car area, they took banana control, maybe they jiggle right there, maybe they jiggle right here, maybe they go for a jump spot. So there's a lot of opportunity and potential for the op to get the opening pick, just because riflers are not expecting the opper to be there. So for example, you can be top mid, okay, and you can slowly post into this. I would, when posting into this, alright, you don't want to crouch into it because they will see you before you can see them. You're going to want to basically slide into it. So I'll do it unscoped, okay? So I'm going to go like that. So just like that, instead of creeping up like this. Okay, so that's just something to keep in mind angle-wise. So basically, you're just timing it so as soon as you peek the corner, that's when you're going in for the crouch. Maybe they miss their headshot on you, and they body shot you, but you have the op, so you're allowed to take the body shots because you're just going to one-shot kill them. Okay? So you're going to crouch in like that. Nobody's there. You're just going to post here. Maybe you want to stand up at this point so you're not super wide. So if somebody comes from porch side, okay, they can't see you. And you're just going to wait for a jiggle. Now, once you get this kill, although the rotates are somewhat quick on Inferno, alright, like there could be a moto player who's going to come over to Arch, or there's a porch guy. They're not like... People on Inferno don't immediately rotate to things like you do on like a map like Mirage, okay? Because there's not as much safe area or safe passage as there is on a map like Mirage. Mirage, you have CT, you have Market, you have Jungle, you have Ticket, you have all that area to rotate. Basically like all of B site to move around freely. On Inferno, you basically have Speedway and CT. The rest is up for grabs if there's a enemy there, okay? So you get that kill. Now you know that you've unlocked most of Arch. There's most likely a guy, Moto, swinging like right here. Maybe he's library. But you do have a lot of time. You will get here before the B rotator will. So you can get the Arch pick. You can go for a smoke like that. Okay. You can post up here waiting for a guy's Speedway. But overall, it's just the second option. Instead of playing passively, it's playing aggressively. Now, the problem is that you playing aggressively, there is a much lower chance that you're alive for the post plant, which, I mean, it's not necessary for the op to be alive post plant. Like, it's nice to have, but it's not like you need to have it to win the game. That's not the case. This is something that I would switch to. Normally, I would start out the game passively, you know, waiting for them to peek into the angles, you know, holding back here, letting my teammates do some of the work. But if that's not working, if my teammates are getting entry'd, one, I'd probably pick up the AK. Alright, just because it's easier to trade people out, it's easier to work as a team, as a group of 5 with an AK on a map like Inferno. But if, let's say, I'm dedicated to opping, I might go for the aggressiveness, alright? I might say, okay, well, we're losing the aim duels, but maybe they're not expecting the op to swing mid. Or even on, like, this side, the op to swing out. Or you can go into apps with a buddy, because you don't want to go into apps alone with an op in case there's somebody with a mag 7. Maybe you can get traded out or something, but, like, swinging right there, alright? Maybe catching the guy off guard, doing something crazy that they're not used to seeing. And then once you do that one round, maybe you can go back to passively instead of playing aggro. Another good play is contact executes behind an op. All right, this is very common in pro play. Very common in higher level things. You're not going to really see this too much in matchmaking or lower level face it ESCA kind of stuff because the team has to be on the same page. So basically, you're going to scope up as an opper and you're going to have your team set up behind you. Maybe two riflers with you, and then 2 people holding a CT smoke and a coffin smoke. All right, and you're going to peek into CT. All right, let's say nobody's there, and then you're just going to continue to contact up. All right, taking your time, clearing off the common angles, okay? And once you get to about, like, dark area, you're going to want to have a teammate check up top orange for you. You can even do it, but there could be a guy, like, right in here, so you probably don't want to do that. And then you're going to post up right side new box, and you're just going to wait here. You go any further, you're probably going to get spotted by a guy CT. Remember, you don't have to worry about this angle as much as you need to worry about this angle. So yes, technically right here, they can't see me deep CT, but they can see me from right here. And this is the threshold for left side new box. You could probably do it, but with the op barrel sticking out, unless this is smoked, they're gonna see you. So my thoughts are, you get to about here with the op, right? Nobody's come out. You're posted here. All right. At this point you call for smokes, but if there's contact before that, let's say that you're posted up, you're swinging out, and there's a guy coughing, and you get the kill. All right. Your teammates immediately smoke, CT and coffin. You guys flash over, and then you take site control. One mistake that you can make is that as the operator, you get too wrapped up with all your teammates around you running up that you get excited and you also run up, okay? That's not what you want to do. That's not how you use an op. So let's say you get this coffin kill. That means that there's either one site or one CT, because playing 2B is pretty standard, right? Process of elimination. So you get that kill, everybody starts to throw smokes, everybody's excited, they got the pick. Your two teammates that are with you are starting to run up to site. You don't want to just run up to site either. Okay, you don't want to immediately go, oh, well, I'll cut the rotates off because they're easy kills. That's not what you want to do. All right, you want to make sure that, hey, there could still be one site. You still take your time. Your teammates can go aggro, all right, because it's much easier for them to stop and shoot, spray somebody down. But with the opera, you get one shot. So if maybe you're running up and you have to quickly quick scope or something like that, that's going to decrease the chances of you hitting the shot dramatically. Also, you have to have the perfect timing, so maybe you're still running up, the guy swings out. That means you have to stop, scope, flick, shoot, war owl shit before he can just jiggle and shoot you in the head. And he's going to jiggle and shoot you in the head more times than not in that situation. So that's basically it for opping T-side Inferno. You basically, just like any other map, you have either playing passively or aggressively. There's not too many set plays that you can do, and there's not too many areas where you can really go to, just because the map is pretty small and most of it is close quarters. So thank you all for watching, hope you have a good day, and I will see you next time.